Right, I'm going to go for a walk around London because there's a light exhibition thing. I think there's 5 installations, so I'm going to go and have a look at them, see what they look like. And I'm going to put it, I know it's not work, but I'll put it on YouTube because that's the type of stuff I get up to. Of a Wednesday night. There's the old nemesis in the background. I'm planning on going to a couple of pubs, so I imagine I'll have something to say about it when I get round to it again. But it's really windy. It's raining, but it's that fine rain that soaks you through. It's not that bad at the minute. Ah, damn you, London Eye. It's windy. It's not cold, but it is windy. So I'm just over the bridge now, and I'm going to turn right in a bit. I'm not going to lie, I didn't realise it was this far away. Just walking along the Strand, like that. Oh, you what? I need to go and make a deposit here. Fortunately, there was a pub on the corner. I went to buy a drink, but there was a queue at the bar, so I thought, well, I'll go and make use of the facilities. They're pretty clean. I didn't get a video because nobody wants to see that. Anyway, on my way to Bank Station, or near Bank Station, to see the first installation of whatever this may be. Only the traffic was this quiet last week. This is where I was stuck for about 3 hours. Look at it. Absolutely nothing. Would have been a dream. I just had a thought. It's 9:30 now. Is there a cut-off for these light things? Is it going to be turned off when I get there? Which, if it is, this is a complete waste of time, because I'm going to have, well, by the time I get there it'll be 10 o'clock and I might as well go to the pub, and then I'm only going to have 2 pints, so it'll be, well, 3 pints, it'll be closing time. Might not be the best planned thing I've ever done. It's a pretty impressive thing to have at the end of your street, isn't it? Well, that was a waste of time. I walked about 3 miles from Waterloo to Bank Station. Seen the installation, but it's in complete darkness. So, yeah, plan ahead. Too busy FaceTiming people. Might as well go to the pub now. I'm going to walk back, get knocked over, walk back along where I came. There's a couple of decent pubs that look decent pubs, old pubs. So I thought I'll go in them and see what they're like. See what the toilets are like, yeah? We'll go and have a look at the lavvies. I don't know, absolutely useless. Still, I suppose, didn't go to the gym to get my steps in. Bit of cardio, it has been as well, up and downhill. We're just coming up to St. Paul's Cathedral again. So hopefully the next time you see me, I'll be having a nice cold pint of lager or something else. Just outside of St. Paul's Cathedral, water fountain. Does it work? Would you drink it if it did? Oh, it does. I don't think I'd drink it. I wouldn't like to think I'd spend 5 million quid in an apartment round here and having to listen to that every hour. Not much to look at really, but these are the toilets in the oldest pub in London. 1667 when it was rebuilt, and it was built in the 1500s originally. That's pretty impressive. Hello. Well, there you go. Can you see that? Can you bugger it? Ye Old Cheshire Cheese, or the Old Cheshire Cheese. That was the oldest pub in London. 1667 it was built, or rebuilt. I think it was built in the 1530s or something. And at the end of the little alley where I've just went up to get a beer, Dr. Johnson used to live. Now Dr. Johnson wrote the very first dictionary. Now you think, ooh, but imagine where you'd be without a dictionary. He just took it upon himself to go, you know what, I'm going to collect all the words that people say and put a meaning towards them. What a clever fella. And that's where he lived. So he probably drank in there 450 years ago. Tidy. Now, I'm not sure what Whitby and Co do, but maybe doing graffiti of willies and bollocks possibly could be that. What do you think it is? Ah, they sell glasses. Listen, Whitby and Company, that's not a particularly good sign. I think this might be the last pint. The George. Looks pretty old. Could it rival the Old Cheddar Cheese? Let's find out. That was an interesting pint. Just over the road from the Royal Courts of Justice. George. Something around the 1700s, 17 something he said, the barman. That's a pretty old pub when you think about it. But then the booze that I've just been in before that was 15, I think he said 1530, then it burnt down and they rebuilt it in 1667. That's some old boozers. And then I think these are shut now. They used to be Lavies. I don't know whether they're open during the day, but what an ornate place to go for a wee. Isn't it? Anyway, I've got to make my way back to Waterloo. And I'm miles away from Waterloo at the minute. And it is... What time is it? Let's have a look at this wrist. £11. Dirty stop out. So this man has got to walk in front of him. Oh God, what a life. Oh, what's going on here? Is there fighting? Oh, it's just rowdy youths. I don't think there's fighting going on. Anyway, I'll see you when we get over the bridge. I tell you what, if you're ever Australian and you're lost in London, you're doing alright. That's quite impressive, that isn't it? Look at that! Eh? I think the only other one that's better is the one in the Canadian Embassy in Trafalgar Square. Ah, see what's happening here. The Commonwealth. That's what's happening. I know one fact about the Savoy. It's the only road that you drive down on the right hand side as opposed to the left hand side, and taxis had to get their, what's it called, the where they turn, bollocks, what's it called, turning circle, that's what, of course it's called. The turning circle was around the fountain, which is at the end of the thing, of the end of the road, right? Which is there. Oh, that's all out of focus now. But that was why London taxis have an impressive turning circle. An impressive turning circle. A lot of people are walking past because of that hotel. The drive in on the right, come out on the left, but when you get back on the street, you drive on the left, and you don't go on the right because that would mean you're in America and you'd crash and probably die. Anyway, I need a wee, so I need to find an alley or possibly the Thames. Who knows? Isn't it mad when you go, oh yeah, I know where I am now. Sorry about the wind if it's windy. When you go, oh yeah, I know where I am now, and your point of reference is this. Trafalgar Square? Oh yeah, I know where I am now, because then I can turn left and go over the bridge to where I'm living in me van. Crackers, isn't it? Central London, what a place. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to walk down Charing Cross, right? I'm going to walk down Whitehall and go what's it called? Not Whitehall, Downing Street, because it stinks. I don't know enough, right, about politics. But what I do know is this. The fella that lives in that street there is the biggest swindler, the biggest fraud, the biggest cheat you've ever seen in your life. I don't agree with anything the man says. Not one thing. He's the biggest self-serving person I've ever seen on the telly. I'll go so far to say that I actually detest him. That I actually detest the man. He needs to leave. And there's my drunkenness. It's better than shouting at that, isn't it? Which, to be honest, is where I should be. I've got to walk all the way down to the end, down there, and all I did was come over this out right out of my way to Downing Street to just say how much I didn't like him. I could have said it anyway. I didn't need to put it on camera, did I? Jesus wept, man. Anyway, now I need a wee. The pubs are shut, so I've got to walk all the bloody way down here, then turn left, then left again, then cross the bridge, and then I'll get somewhere near where I am, back to the van. Oh, I thought I might have been able to go through that. It's a bit posh, isn't it? Can't go through there. Looks like there's a left turn to be though. Turn left and take a shortcut. Let's see where that takes me. That'll be a dead end, no doubt. So that turning on the left was a dead end, and we've ended up there at Big Ben. Well, we've ended up at the clock tower, the Palace of Westminster. So I'll have to cross the bridge now, then turn left. Oh God, I need a place to have a wee. Does anybody know what they actually did? I mean, the scaffold's been dropped, partially. Well, it looks the same to me. What did they do? They just cleaned it. It was a waste of time, wasn't it? There it is. I've got nothing bad to say about it today. That's quite nice, isn't it? The London Eye. tourists to enjoy sights of London. Not for me though. Waste of money. Big old London. This is where I work. Well, this has been my absolute waste of time tour of London's lights. Set off too late, got to the first one, that was shut, turned off, and then I went for a couple of beers. I did, however, go for a couple of beers in the oldest, well, I had one beer in the oldest pub in London, and then I had another 2 beers in another pub right over the road from the from the Royal Court of Justice, which was like 1700 or something, which is pretty old when you think about it. We're just coming up to the big London Eye now, and I'm going to turn right and go to the van. So I'll see you when I turn right. Right, I'm on the route home now. Turned right. The Nemesis is behind me. Got about, I don't know, a minute and a half to walk back to the van. So, in summation, a failed tour of London. What you should do is get out of your van, if you're going to do it, get your arse in gear and go before they turn all the lights off. Otherwise, you're wasting your time, kiddo. But you'll get a good shot of the London Eye in your background if you want. Like that. You know, influencers dream of stuff like this. Cable jointers, not so much. Anyway, that's me done. Had a good wander, had a couple of beers in some really old pubs, and going to get back to the digs, back to my £20 digs in central London. I wouldn't mind seeing somebody get £20 digs in central London. Let me know if you've got some, because at least you wouldn't have to spend money on gas. There's the digs. Someone next to me, look. Got the lights on. They're going to get a shock when I get in the back. Anyway, night night. That's my terrible tour of London. So, I got back to the van. I thought, I'm a little bit hungry, to be honest. So I had a walk about, went to Sainsbury's, got something to eat, and found this. A credit card or debit card in the gutter, Mr. Talib Karini. You silly sausage. Lost your card. But I'm not going to use it for ill-gotten gains, because I'm a law-abiding citizen. Hopefully you'll cut it up. Well, you can't cut it up because it's in my van, but you'll cancel it and you'll order a new one. But I can assure you that I will not spend any pennies on your card. Be more careful in future, Mr. Talib Karini. Oh, we'll have words. Anyway, that's the end of my night. I'm going to bed.